Hello, YouTube. Finally, that took a little longer than it should have, but we are here with another video. We have two videos coming out today. One is a 2K gameplay, which we haven't done in quite some time. I think it's been a week, maybe. But we're back on that a little bit. But we're also here to talk about The Walking Dead. We have been progressing into the end of Season 10. You know, I think we're finally done with those bonus episodes, and we're finally going to get a real finale. The story is moving along. That's a pretty big deal because we have had some pretty boring bonus episodes that didn't add anything to the series, and they weren't really necessary. I think it was just kind of a money grab by the creators. So let's get into the plot and the critical reception, and then we're going to do an Anderson Varejao gameplay. I'm really excited. So Eugene, Ezekiel, Yumiko, and Princess are surrounded by several armored soldiers, obviously continuing from like what was supposed to be the season finale. As she struggles against her captors, Princess watches as Yumiko is hit hard on the head by a soldier with a rifle. The group is separated from each other and imprisoned in boxcars. So now we finally see what the fallout of that attack is, how they're going to handle it and whatnot. While in captivity, Princess tries to break the wooden wall separating her, and Yumiko gets a splinter in her finger, triggering her PTSD, and we're going to start to kind of learn a little bit more about Princess. She's going to be a pretty important character in this show, hopefully going into Season 11. To keep Yumiko awake, Princess tells her about her childhood traumas while realizing Yumiko is suffering from head trauma just before soldiers arrive and take Yumiko away. The next day, Princess discovers an exit to Eugene's boxcar, but he dismisses her and tells her to return to her boxcar so they can appear worthy of the community's time by following their orders. Princess obeys. Like, they don't want to do anything out of pocket and then these guys catch them and then they're in hot water. You know, they don't want to do that. Later, a soldier summons her to come with him. Like, come with me, you know, we're going to ask you some questions about your people. They've been kind of inhabiting the area long enough. They need to learn about these people they brought in. Once she is checked for bite marks by an examining trooper played by Eric Bello, Princess is brought into another room to be interrogated by another trooper played by Jesse James LeCourrier about her group. This is supposedly like the boss, like the head of the unit. You kind of get that idea when you're watching the show. However, Princess refuses to cooperate, aggressively demanding to see Yumiko. The soldier slaps her and knocks her to the ground. I mean, these people aren't playing any fucking games, and they show that right away here. Princess later wakes up in her boxcar and sneaks out to see Eugene again, only to find that he is gone. She returns to her boxcar and panics. She realizes, like, as she knows it, there's no one there to help her. She's kind of in the boxcars by herself, trying to maybe plot an escape. Suddenly, Ezekiel opens the hatch in the roof and jumps down. The two argue over what to do next. Like, what's the best course of action? How are they going to escape? Soon afterward, a soldier, played by Cameron Roberts, enters the boxcar with a tray of food, but is ambushed by Ezekiel, who is able to knock the troop unconscious and then handcuffs him. So now they have someone captured. They have a really powerful way to get out of this place. Princess interrogates the soldier with Ezekiel, eventually attacking and beating him, before Princess realizes that she was hallucinating Ezekiel the entire time, and she is beating the still-fettered soldier, and that's kind of an interesting little device that they put into this episode. I thought that was really interesting. It was kind of well done. I like that they did that. She then escapes from her boxcar and is faced with another hallucination of Ezekiel, who tries to convince her to flee and leave the others behind. She refuses and returns to her boxcar. It's kind of like the devil on the shoulder, trying to get you to do something you probably shouldn't do. Like, you should probably stay behind for these people. There, Princess frees the beaten soldier and answers his questions in exchange for seeing her friends. The soldier thanks her and knocks on the door and yells to a squad outside. Immediately, the door slides open, revealing Eugene, Ezekiel, and Yumiko lined up outside with hoods on their heads, guarded by soldiers. A hood is thrown over Princess's head, and they don't escape. They pretty much got thrown into a trap. This was like a plot, a test, probably a goodwill, and there you go. You see the image right there where my hand is. Getting into the critical reception, this isn't going to be a very long episode. I mean, this was a pretty straight-to-the-point episode. It wasn't even 40 minutes long. It was okay. I got a 64%. I got 6.6 out of 10. 11 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Splinter doesn't move this season's story forward in any meaningful way, but Paolo Lazzaro's performance and some hallucinatory flourishes keep this character-focused installment from being wholly redundant. Now, I disagree. I think this moved the story along and showed, like, how they were dealing with the soldiers. Like, I don't know how that didn't move the story along. I'm not counting that as a bonus episode. It was genuinely part of the story. The character development of Princess, you got to be in the AV Club. For all intents and purposes, it's essentially a one-woman show, too. Sure, there's a couple other characters here, but this is the Princess show, and it's a pretty good one. 4 out of 5 on Den of Geek. Pretty good episode. Despite being 10 seasons old, there's still a bit of a life in The Walking Dead, which is ironic. Paula Lazaro, however you say her name. She's a Puerto Rican actor that plays Princess, and she's pretty great. I mean, Paula Lazaro is phenomenal in the role, wobbling deftly between comic relief and tragedy, clearly on the brink, but no less likable for it. Some things I will say, I mean, we already knew she was in great need of psychotherapy and anxiety meds, but did we need an entire hour focused on her unraveling mental state? Probably not. Maybe we didn't need a full episode for Princess, but still, it is what it is. I'm out. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. GZTV, the TV show guy. I'm going to be doing a 2K video, and then we're going to be streaming later tonight. So yeah, click the noti bell if you're interested in The Walking Dead. If you're interested in Dexter, we've been watching Black Mirror. I have some of the idle content. I've watched